sexy and chilling.
Duncan, it's nearly showtime. Can you put that down? What is that?
A really big squid.
Are you ready for drinking? Drawing? What about laughing? Well, hold on to your butts. It's the ComX Friday Night Drink and Draw. With your hosts Sizzle and Spedsy, and the man they call Quick, plus Australia's most attractive artists and creators, many of whom have books for sale at comx.shop. Hey, Sizzle? What say we start the shizzle?
Kookaburras mock you. They're not cool.
Nah, I'm down with kookaburras. Yeah.
Was that meant to be silent?
It wasn't silent.
It wasn't.
It wasn't silent for me.
Oh, it's dead silent for me.
Maybe you got to
Okay,
open your
anyway.
ears, Black.
Kookaburras, man. Kookaburras.
Welcome to Friday Night Drink and Draw, brought to you by ComX. We're here every week bringing together Australia's greatest artists to draw a character from each week's special guest. And this week's special guest is none other than Nicholas Cleary of ComX Drink and Draw fame.
I've been
Our artist will be drawing his special character, Detective Budgy.
Cool.
See some Budge. There's my boy.
Fly hard.
That's me, Budgy.
Yeah.
And just a quick PSA: if there's anyone out there who has seen the rest of Sizzle's face, if you could send it to shane@comx.net.au.
Yes, that'd be great.
Lauren, would you like to introduce some people, maybe?
Oh my gosh. I'm back again for round 2 of hosting. I'm so glad that old mate Nick, not this Nick, but another Nick is not here, Santa. Anyway, so I'm Lady Braddis, and this time we've got Quick-Spedsy. How are we going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Let's swapping things up today. Let's keep it fresh. No beards. No Quick Nick, what's going on? And a major legend, we've got Alex Major.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, mate.
We've got Julian. How are we?
Hey, how you doing?
Deadly Dave, as usual.
G'day, all.
And Nick May, you may.
G'day, everyone.
And as mentioned, we've got Nick, who's not Quick Nick today, it's Nick the guest.
Nick,
I was telling the guys I don't know what to do with my hands.
Even above the desk, mate.
So we're going to obviously jump straight into it. Everybody can get drawing. We are waiting on a couple more guests, so don't be surprised when another friendly face pops up. But while everyone gets cracking on, hey, Nick, do you want to maybe give a quick introduction about yourself? Maybe give us something you haven't really said before, like a little quick tidbit about something?
We're usually on here talking comics, but my my first love, my history is in filmmaking.
Hey,
So
cool.
I'm telling stories and stuff. So I have another YouTube channel called Fury Fingers, where I would make action shorts based on video games and stuff like that, like live action. And it was all about making short, strong, punchy, visually pleasing stories. So yeah.
Short, punchy, visually pleasing stories. I heard that.
You can hear you now.
You're live.
Back.
We can stop talking about him now.
The show. It's Alistair Lockhart. How are we going?
Hey. Well done.
So did you study anywhere for your film work, or is it?
Yeah, I went to film school in Adelaide for 2 years. Went to a place called MATS, Media Arts Production Skills. It's got a great little rep in this town for producing really skills-heavy filmmakers. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's
Cool.
so those, like, I think those skills I developed making punchy little stories translate well to comics. And I was always storyboarding my films, and I was doing all the VFX, or a great deal of them. So drawing on a screen and creating stuff within a frame, it all speaks to the same thing for me.
100%.
What kind of video games were you inspired by to make films?
We did, like, some of the classics, like
Tetris.
we did Super Mario. We did a Metal Gear Solid one, which got picked up. Like Konami shared it, which was really fun.
Oh, nice.
We got like Hideo Kojima retweeting it, which was kind of
Were
insane.
you like in a box and just going into supermarkets and stuff, or?
No, we made like a short film where Snake's in a box, getting chased around, hiding, and lots of little gags. And we made some for Ubisoft, a few paid promotions. We did a Tomb Raider one that got shared by the Tomb Raider community and Tomb Raider itself.
Oh, awesome.
And it started leading to paid gigs. And I've made 2 web series since through the process of making those fun little shorts. And now we're at a place where we want to make bigger content. We want to go large.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
And what I found through that process is that if I'm not doing something immediate and creative, I get really restless. So that's where ComX really crept in during that long production schedule of having not a lot of output. Yeah.
Speaking of comics, we're obviously here drawing Detective Budgy. Big old bird. You want to give us a little rundown, if nobody's read it or not? There is a little bit of a backstory going on in there. But Zach, how are we?
Good. Hey, Zachary.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah, I don't want to give away.
Hey, Zach.
Obviously, if you've read it, it's obviously going to be in there. But if you want to give everybody else a bit of a rundown, how old mate Budgy Roo came to be.
How Budgy came to be. So I remember I've told the story a few times amongst friends and family. I was at after school care, teaching kids, not teaching, more like babysitting. And one of my little tricks for the kids is that I draw, I do the quicks. And I was drawing like cat burglars that day and police dog cops and stuff like that. And I drew this like tough looking bird guy, and I've got it here. I'm all prepped. So I drew this bird guy and he gave him these big arms. And I was like, yeah, I like this guy. I'm like, oh, what if I gave him like a trench coat? And then he'd have like a cool trench coat vibe going. So I drew that over the arms quickly. And like something happened in my brain then. And I was like, hey, they look kind of like wings. It looked like trench coat, looks like wings. This is cool. This is a cool concept. And I rarely color in my work. And I'm meant to be taking care of kids. But I remember just grabbing crayons and textures. And I was just like, I'm going to finish this picture. I'm going to take a photo of it. And I'm going to save it. Because this one's important for some reason.
How many kids did you lose while doing that?
Three and a half.
3.5.
The parents weren't impressed, but I showed them the picture and they were okay with it.
Yeah. If I'd lost a kid, but I was showing a good picture, I'd forget about my kid too. So. Oh, it didn't work. That's okay. Silence means it didn't work. Moving on.
Then I had that idea in my head for a long time. And I remember I was at uni learning how to be a teacher and not listening because uni's not very interesting. And I started thinking, I'll just do some scribbling, which is, I'm sure everyone here has scribbled through a uni lecture or a classroom. So I drew this one.
I went to uni. Look at me.
This is the first Budgy picture. I just scribbled. It says, good job apprehending the perp, Detective Budgy, which is sort of a different variation. Yeah. Something tells me he'll be right at home behind bars. And there he is, behind bars. And that was kind of like the trigger point where I was like, I'm really liking this character. This is really fun. And I can remember at uni, everyone would be like, at the end of a class, people would come up to me like, you got any new Budgy stories? And they want to learn something today. And then at a certain point, like teachers were coming up to me, like lecturers were like, go on, show us the little bird comic. I'm like, oh, here it is. I had like 10 of them floating around. So I always had this character in the back of my head. And then I'm not sure what the trigger point was, but it was like, I got to draw this guy. I got to give him a whole story. I got to give him a book. And that's how the first one came to be. There it is. Detective Budgy.
Yeah.
So when you say
available at ComX shop.
When you say it took a while, like how long was he brewing within you before you put pen to paper?
I'd say it's probably like around about a year. I was probably keeping busy making films at the time and pretending to study.
Yes,
and
it's
then
not that long.
He sort of
People
crept
consider
up.
characters for decades.
The big changing point for me was I bought a digital tablet, the one I do my clicks on. So I got the digital tablet, and that changed the game really quickly. Like it unlocked undos. Your pen line looks so slick and cool, and it was like, a new sort of fuel to make a creative project happen. Yeah, and coloring's easier and I dare say more fun and effective. So least for that slick comic book look I wanted.
Yeah, cool. So obviously there's a lot of puns within the book. Really smart ones. Do you feel like they come naturally for you, and you think that's like the biggest essence about Detective Budgy?
I think that, well, I know when I'm writing, I've got a story I want to tell. And then I'll think, all right, how can I get all my bird puns in? Because there's usually one on a page on a standard. Sometimes it's at the bottom of the page, like a real punchline before you turn the page. Sometimes they're just snuck into the dialogue. I'm doing the gun sound effects tonight, everyone. That's why there's a slight delay. So yeah, I try to load up the puns as much as I can. I've got just another sample here. So
Spedsy should have brought his own gun.
Yeah, should have.
If you're gonna do that job, mate, you got to supply your own gun.
So I'll come up with a story, and then I remember I was writing Hard Boiled, and it occurred to me that one of the characters should be a goose, because there's at least 8 or 10 goose jokes that I can incorporate. And then those kind of jokes can somehow influence the story a little bit. So it's kind of a give and take.
Do you feel like the puns come first before the story?
No, the story comes first, but then the puns just are like a layer on top to really make each page punchy. And Rob asked the other night, he was like, he hadn't read the books yet. He asked, are there stakes? Like, is there drama in your stories? Or is it just a pun a page thing? And I'm like, no, totally. Like, I know Nick May's read it and he's nodding.
High stakes.
There you go.
Yeah, it's incredible. If people haven't read it, you might think that you're in for some sort of a comedy journey, but there is so much more to it. And there's a lot of funny stuff in there, but it's got a deep mythology that is evolving, I think, Nick.
Yeah, I'd say so. And something I find is that the first half of a book, I've done 2 books, it's very, pun heavy. And then once the drama kicks in, like, it takes a real backseat to the third act, the violence, the action.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But they'll sneak in. They're still in there.
In terms of, obviously you were saying you were drawing with the kids at camp and stuff. And you've obviously picked this bird. It came with like really cool story, like an ideas behind it. Do you regret choosing birds to draw, or do they find that comes quite naturally?
There's so many bird lines and bird puns out there. Like, there's an extreme amount, and I've got like a long list while I'm writing, and I've only done about 50% of them. So, given it's part of the story formula for Detective Budgy, like, I'm on board with it. I'm happy with the birds. I have confessed that when I have to draw a mouth or a nose, part of me is like, oh man, beaks are easy. Draw a triangle or a pyramid. But now and now that I've finished that book, my next character has to have a human mouth, so that I can develop those skills. That's something I've told myself.
He's a very relaxed sort of a Budgy, isn't he? Like, no shirt, board shorts. That sort of thing. Has he worked near Bondi Beach or something, does he, mate?
Well, he's got
Budgy have a
wingspan, so he needs to fly. So a shirt's just not very practical for him.
I guess not.
And it's part of that appeal for me was that it looks like he's wearing a trench coat. It looks like he's got wings all at the same time.
Right. That's that image appeal on the cover. Yeah.
Tell me more about the thing, his cape, trench coat, wing thing. What's the deal?
Well, basically, like, it's just that it's not quite a trench coat. It kind of looks like a Dick Tracy trench coat. It looks like wings, and it's really fun. Because he's just a yellow thing, with the blue shorts. So he's a fun character to draw because he's quite simple. And I can draw him as a silhouette and stuff like that with the spiky hair.
But is there wings underneath it, or is that part of his wing design?
They are the wings. Like he'll just lift them
They
up.
are the wings. Okay, cool.
But when he's kind of walking around, you might assume it's a trench coat. Yeah.
Have you got? I've got a question as well. I have many, but because you've got the film background, are you also thinking of doing like a film with him, like have somebody dress up, cosplay as the Budgy, and film it around?
It hasn't happened yet. It's not on my list of things to do. But if somebody read the comic and was like, "I'm going to fund you to make, a puppet-esque Detective Budgy story," I mean, I jump straight in. So if anyone's out there,
if enough people support the ComX, might happen. I think maybe somebody will have the money to throw at it, just encouraging the audience.
I'll just wait patiently.
Yeah.
There you go. Hazzie's already involved. I mean,
it's already out of the cage.
Detective Budgy.
Yeah, first part of the night.
Nick.
Yep.
Detective Budgy. Is he working for the police force as a detective, or is he's
freelance?
No, he's working for the police force.
Right.
Payroll.
Dave, just ask you a real question.
Right, so here we go. I wanted to know because it's going to be in my thing here.
Yeah, he's a recruit, and actually, the reason why we're talking about Detective Budgy tonight is he's going to be in Presents Noir 3, and that story is the third Detective Budgy story, School of Hard Knocks, and that's sort of it's like a prequel. It's a bit of an origin story, and it tells how he came to be sort of interested in joining the police force.
Right.
It's in there.
Nice.
So,
if anyone's read the first issue, it kind of dips. Let's toe into the pool of why does he have wings, and doesn't seem like anybody else does. Does that elaborate a little bit further in the future issues?
Yeah, that's always something that's kind of underneath the plot. Like he'll have a case in each book, and that'll be a straightforward crime. But there's always a little something hinted in, and that's in both books so far. And that's usually how I pitch Detective Budgy, is like at a market or something. Is I'll start with this book's based in Avian City. It's full of anthropomorphic birds. They're all walking, talking with their arms and legs. But Detective Budgy is an arcanon. He's born as like a rarity. He's got wings, so he's treated as a little bit of an outcast, a little bit of a freak, a little bit of a celebrity, a bit of a superhero, and his wings make him quite an excellent cop because he's quick, and he's kind of got an animal brain. He's got some interesting primal intelligence that makes him good at thinking differently and solving crimes, like some of the great detectives, some of the great literary detectives,
like Minty Frisco.
Ah, nice.
One of those sort of powers will be the ability to water, because when you're out the desert and you can't find water, you just follow the budgies.
There you go.
You know that, don't you?
That's going in the next one. Don't you worry.
So if there was there's a whole pile of crime shows that you can watch and stuff. Is there like a particular detective? I saw that you wanted like a bit of a Clint Eastwood feel to him, but is there a character cop that you kind of relate Detective Budgy to?
Well, I've said Dick Tracy before, and I think to me, like I remember that old Dick Tracy film with Warren Beatty and stuff. He was so like, the law is the law, and that's the way it has to be. He was so driven, and that creates really good conflict for a cop, and that then they have to break the rules to get the job done, and or they have to seduce Madonna to get cracking on the case, and he's got a wife. So I like to think Detective Budgy's really he cares about justice and equality, and that'll create obstacles for him. And as far as like each book, this one's called Fly Hard, and it's very much to the tune of Die Hard, and then Hard Boils in black and white, and that's got a real detective pastiche, a real private investigator vibe going for it.
Yeah, right.
That's the one of the night. Go on the wall. So yeah, Budgy. And then the next book we'll probably have a beachy vibe, like a Miami Vice type vibe. So I'm interested in kind of making it diverse and covering all the police genre types.
A beachy vibe, did you say?
Yeah, like you know, it's that sunsetty vibe where the cops are cool and like Miami style.
Right.
There's lots of good references that I can't think of.
Water rats. That was on the beach.
Water rats. A really good one that I've just lost, but if it comes back, I'll speak up.
Water rats is good, wasn't it?
How about Baywatch?
Yeah, and like Baywatch, they sort of sometimes are investigators in that show. I don't remember it very well.
So Nick, I got a technical question because I think that like what we don't talk about, but because like we know you're very fast on the show, but you put together your comics like 80 pages long.
Oh.
How long did that take? Because like a lot of people struggle on putting 20 pages a year. 20. We all struggle 20 pages a day. But.
So Hardboiled's like 85 pages of story and some extra bits at the back. It took me right close to a year, and it's a bit stop-starty. Whereas how motivated I was at times. But the last half came out pretty quick. Like I think joining the ComX community was a real good fuel. Like I think everyone noticed after a show I'd be drawing, and just having you guys planning is really good motivation. And I've told people that who I'm trying to recruit, people I'm trying to get in the club.
Issue 2 is large.
It is big.
So where do you see Detective Budgy going, let's say, like 5 to 10 years? Like how much do you want to expand the world and getting it out to people?
I think I want to do definitely 2 more books, and I feel like I can wrap up the story. But a part of me wants to like do like a collection of shorts with him as well. So as far as how I'm mapping it in my head, as I'm sort of halfway. Like I've done 2 books. I want to do 2 more, maybe a 5th. I'm not sure, but I know where the story's going. I know how I want to wrap it up. I know the big plot points, and I got a long list of bird puns I want to put in them. So
you got to use them up.
Got to use them up.
Your system.
And people come up to me who are like friends who have read the book, or if I'm talking to people at markets, and they'll just be like, "Have you done this one?" And I'll be like, "No," and I'll just write it down in front of them.
No,
Like, Thank you. That's a
give them credit, or give them credit, or you just steal the ideas.
I just keep the idea to myself. That's
as long as it's on record, we're all good.
The influence. If they want to give it back, that's fine.
Indian givers.
The best tip I got was a girl was really interested in the book, and she sort of like, you could see it, her imagination like run away. She was like, "Oh, what about if he walks into a shop and there's like a bell and it goes bing? Would it like put him in a good mood? Would it cheer up a little bit?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? It would. And you know what? It may well happen now." So.
So do you own a budgie?
No. No, it's funny. I've got this like mild fear of birds. I don't know what it is.
Phobia.
I think I got spooked a lot as a kid or something, because I'll be at a bus stop and a magpie will land in front of 4 people in a row, and everyone will just stand completely still, and I'll do a backflip. I'll be like, "Whoa!"
There's definitely some trauma there, man.
I don't know how that translates into me drawing these budgie books, but
Hey, you've got to face your fears somewhere.
It's my
So if you ever had like the chance to collaborate and do like a crossover or something like that, what would that be? If there was a particular character or
there is a crossover that's sort of been flirting around comments.
Excuse me.
There's a few animal detectives running around in the ComX community. There's Frederick Trelawney, the turtle investigator. Did I say that right? Turtle detective.
Turtle detective, yeah.
And there's Vivian Jones, the occult investigator by Zach, the giraffe man. And we've talked about how we can get these guys together, solving crimes and doing something fun for maybe a
Very
little book,
cool.
maybe we'll do a few pages. So yeah, that's on the cards. That'll make me very happy. Make a girl one.
Has you got a girlfriend?
Yeah, I'll show you. This is Evelyn Stone. She's in Hard Boiled. She's the goose I mentioned.
Babe.
She's a tough bird. She works for the DGT, which is kind of like an FBI outfit. And the two of them, they caught one another during the book.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Any like bird on bird action as well? Or
Like
just,
bird mating dance.
Oh, there was no mating dance. They went on a date together to a fancy restaurant, and she ordered like a seafood dish, and he ordered cold spaghetti served in a bowl. And she's like, "Why are you so into that?" And he's like, "I have no idea. I just love slurping these little suckers up."
Worms.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, like, if there's not a pun on a page, there's like a weird. There we go. There's a weird kind of bird
Coming
brain.
soon.
Look at that. They look great together. They've all got their own little color scheme.
oh wait.
But the ladies love Detective Budgy. He's a freak, and people are like weirded out by they call them bug wings because there are no birds. They're like, and chicks are just kind of drawn to like his animal magnetism. And I haven't written that formally, but somehow like he gets like loving eyes occasionally from ladybirds.
So this story is a little bit
Or is that true,
autobiographical.
or is Nick making it up, being the resident lady here?
I am swooning. I'm swooning. Yeah.
I am the god of the Detective
Swanning.
Budgy universe, and I say they swoon. They swan. Did you say something, Dave? I think you were trying to ask me a question.
Yeah, I was after that comment you made about his magnetism to the opposite sex. I thought that this may be a autobiographical type comment.
Mate, I wish. Not quite. You know, it's funny though because people read the book and they ask me like discreetly, like, so like, are you Detective Budgy? Like, are you? Is it just you?
Yes, I'm a bird.
And I'm like, yeah, it's me. He's look at that triangle nose. And those shitty all me. And like, I think at the back of each book, and Nick may will attest to this, I do a little write up. I'll do a little spiel about the writing journey. And in Fly Hard, I talk about how he's an outcast and different, but special. And I think that's how we all sort of perceive ourselves, especially as artists. So.
Yeah. We are a special breed.
Dude, we have anybody who wants to share something that they've done yet? Have a progress shot or anything like that?
See mine?
I am. I'll bring up
got
Zach.
Zach.
Where is Zach? There
That's
he
looking
is.
good, Zach.
Nice.
Yeah. Do not
Oh,
cross
nice.
this one.
Well, we actually have a
Really
few that have
good.
been sent in as
That's
well.
cool.
So we can go through some
Yeah.
of those.
You do a
Yeah,
very good budgie, mate.
I will just go over here. Okay, so we Dana King sent one in earlier as an apology for not being able to make it in tonight.
Oh,
Oh,
Dana.
That's
yeah. Ripper.
rad. That's
Well
got the
done,
nice.
Oh, that's so wicked.
Yeah,
Got the specs on.
very good.
And then we got one from Michelle, our regular.
Nice, Michelle.
Everybody.
Wow, look at that. That's
Can
cool.
you up and down this? Oh yeah, wicked.
Angry budgie.
Nice work, Michelle.
And then straight after that, Dan sent his in.
All right, yeah. Keep on
Hey, nice.
Looking good.
Man,
Nice.
you're a
Budgie with the
weirdo,
budgie
mate.
smuggler. Or with the human smuggler.
Weekend ripped.
Dan May's read the books, and I can tell he's like studied the anatomy of Detective Budgie. He's all around it. He knows
Did he
it.
trace one of your drawings?
Well,
Just to get you out of your agony there, Steve, I'll bring up yours.
oh, Steve.
A real one, mate. Working out in the gym.
Swole.
Singing on
Nice.
your-
Ain't no pudgy budgie.
Who's that?
And
That's a mate of mine, Steve.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Steve
Nice
Parker
work,
is
Steve.
the name that I was given. And Duncan has sent one in
Oh, nice.
Yay.
as well,
Go to that one.
a bit early, so he must have started before we started the show.
Ah, yeah.
Very good.
The bird crest on his shoulder is real, like,
Budge, that's
touch to
great.
it now. That's
Judge
right.
Bud.
Look at that.
Judge Budge.
That is so cool.
Well done, Duncan.
Yeah,
Well
Duncan, that's
done.
amazing.
Yeah, well done, mate.
I was getting
I mean, not to outdo Duncan, but I just did this.
Well, that's not very nice.
That's exactly it, man. That's
Poor
how
Duncan. He had his moment in the sun, and then you just ripped him out.
Yeah, whenever I can
You
make it about
swooped
me.
over, you swooped right over him.
He swooped in, yeah.
We have got one more to share.
Swooped
Nathan
in,
Quick-Spedsy sent this one in earlier as well. Detective Budget, Fly Hard.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Really good.
It was a good
Nice.
footage, yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Nathan's a fellow Adelaide talent. He'll be joining the ComX community soon.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah, he
Talents.
just added his
Outstanding.
profile. I think it was yesterday or early today. Yeah.
That's cool.
Fly hard. Yeah, good. That's great.
There is like a pretty good, there's a very good community there in Adelaide. I remember a long time ago there used to be this fanzine, but it was like a collection, like an anthology. I forgot this one guy animator. I think he was an animator. Could have been an ex-Disney guy before my time, but it's beautiful little. I think it was called Bean Boy or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And then there's another very talented guy called Niall. Zelds. If anybody remembers from 20 years ago, anybody following, I don't know, but he's in Shanghai now. So ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
Oh, wait.
But he is.
Ding! It's almost like I was waiting for you to say it.
There's such a flattering image of me.
I've got some more budgies to share. This is from
lovely.
Page out of Hard Boiled. So this is some of our fellow artists here. Let me just bring it up. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Share my screen. Here we go. So to the left, a friend of mine's put together a Detective Budgy Bruce Willis version. Obviously,
The glory.
to the middle, Rob's put in a very quick and very perfect little sketch of Detective Budgy holding a gun with his feet, which is right on form. Old Nick May, here we go. He's put Old Man Budgy together.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We need more of that. Here's Alex's Budgy and a pair of human smugglers. Underneath, we've got some fans of mine, some drawing in from Atcha and Sid, right on form.
All right.
And then
Very
out there, Lockhart, who's kind of dropping in and out tonight, has put this one together. So that's in the book.
That was really nice.
Great, Alistair.
I was
Thank you.
actually looking at some of Alistair's work in Decay or Retro. I think it was Decay that he'd done for Darren Koziol. Bloody beautiful work, mate. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, what's his say, guy, old man Biscuit there? What are you trying to imply?
It's been a while since we've had you on, Alistair. If your connection holds up, do you want to maybe give us a little insight what's been going on in the background for you while we have you?
Well, I've been mostly working on an ongoing game called Gems of War, and it's all creature design. It's a live service game, and so they're constantly updating it, and they're always adding characters to it, because it's a deck builder, and there's not hundreds and hundreds of characters in this thing. And it's nice steady work. It's not holiday money, but it's keeping the lights on.
That's good, mate. Yeah.
And I've had a couple of people approach me with game projects that they want to put together, which I can't actually talk about, but they wanted concept sketches, because I used to art direct games for a while. So, just putting together a sort of a first draft art Bible for a pitch.
cool.
for a couple of
That's
games
awesome.
recently.
Yeah, great, mate.
So
No comic stuff or anything.
well, I have done a couple of comics, but when I'm doing comics, I tend to get so absorbed in them that all of my paid work sort of falls to the wayside.
Right. Yeah.
And I have 4 kids, so
Yep.
paid work has to get done.
That's it, mate. We understand.
So that's why so far it's only been short stories. And I really should collaborate with somebody because when you do the pencils and the inks and the colors and the design and the lettering yourself, then you're not going to get more than a page done.
Nah, it slows it down a lot, doesn't it?
Takes forever.
Yeah. So.
Well, you normally with your comics collaborate, don't you? Or
me?
Yeah. You normally collaborate with someone to write, or you do your own writing?
No, I usually do my own writing. In fact, it's the only reason why I will ever do a comic for free is if I get to do the writing as well.
Yeah.
There was one that I did with Dean Rankin for Decay.
Right.
Was it Decay? Yeah.
Still in the game, peeps.
I'll have to.
But apart from that, the writing is the part I really enjoy. With the art, once you've got the blocking done, then tightening it up, and then tightening it up again, and then tightening it up again, and putting in color and stuff like that, that starts to become very, very procedural. And when you're doing it for no money, it becomes kind of stressful as well.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of? So you're thinking with collaboration, you're going to be writing comic ideas and then going to find other artists to collaborate with?
Writing in pencils, it'd be nice to work with an inker and a colorist. Or the other alternative is to just find a style that, where you can knock art out really, really quickly. I have a tendency to get bogged down in detail, especially with background.
Yeah.
So it's just a habit that you need to break if you're going to get something done.
Yep.
But the horror shorts are ideal for just kind of cutting my teeth because, as a writer, I'm a great artist. So it's nice to knock out a few shorts and get positive feedback on those before you actually start tackling long form episodic stuff because I've no training in writing whatsoever.
Yeah.
Enjoy creating, right? What about you, Julian? You haven't been on for a little while. What's going on in your world?
Yeah, kind of in the same boat as Alistair, except I'm not an art director, so that's a big difference. I'm doing just doing more 3D work for some clientele. Getting a lot of video done, animation as well, which is it's a nice change of pace to a lot of the comics that I was doing as well. So for the years prior. I'm thinking of getting back into Tales of Rise this year, but it all really will depend on my schedule. Because at the end of the day, we all gotta make a few bucks just to live, especially in these trying times. Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay just to live under the bridge just so you can make comics.
That is ideal. Yes.
And the Salvation Army always gives foods for people who are struggling. So just throwing that out there for people.
Who's that knocking on your door, Alex?
Sorry?
Who's that knocking on your door now? That's not them, is it?
No, that's some government officials. I don't need to
Not the
answer
Salvation.
Peter Dutton.
Yeah,
gotta come in.
you don't sound Australian enough. Get out.
Yeah.
He's got eyebrow envy, that man.
I'm giving him 3.
This didn't really go anywhere. It was Julian under a bridge.
That is such an accurate depiction of Harbour
He's got the
Bridge.
look of an artist as well.
There's a lot of our audience commenting about where everyone's beard is, and I'm surprised that no one's caught on.
You noticed that,
the fact that I'm
you
wearing
noticed
it.
that too.
I had a go too, Rob. I just couldn't help myself with that one. Waiting for the gag, but just drawing Alex under a bridge just cool. You know?
Oh, you're drawing Alex under the bridge. I draw Julian.
Merge them. There's space
Who's
for
got to draw
everyone.
Alex down to the bridge?
Where you want to be?
So we've got some more pictures have come in.
Ooh.
I'll just go over to
we've
the
got
right
a lot of
place.
artists out there.
We've actually got a speedster amongst us. Speedster. Nick May.
Well,
Hey.
Look at
Very
that.
good, Nick.
On that moon.
Oh,
Yes, you
wicked.
Thanks, Nick.
Very nice.
Good work, Nick. Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
thanks.
nice one, Nick.
Yeah,
Whoever the hell you are in the right corner.
The dude without
And
the
we got
beard.
one from Gene Whitlock, I think it's pronounced. He sent one in
Whitlock.
last week as well.
Yeah, he did.
Good on you, Jane.
He's going to be on the show
Wow.
soon.
Good on you. That's a ripper.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Got the trench coat.
Yeah, got the halftones too.
That's
Good.
really nice. Just
That's good. Yeah, that's great.
Nice.
Got this from Nick May as well. Oh, no, sorry. It's Nick May. Detective Budgy's going to find his missing beard.
It's on the case. Rad.
What's it like seeing other people draw Detective Budgy?
It's fun because when I drew him, I knew like there were rules for drawing him. You know, he's got those two sharp points at the back of his head, and how people translate that is really fun. You can see Dave's in the bottom there. It's got like a Bart Simpson thing going on. And then I'll bring up Dana's again. She's just like, no, I'm going to give him lots of them. And it looks rad.
is there a reason why he's yellow? Because like most budgies are pretty colourful. Is he like a
Blue or
baby
green,
budgie
mate.
doing adult things? Or
I will address that in the books at a later point. But for now, like, I just think
don't spoil it if you know.
it's just really fun. It's just like, this is him, boom, yellow. That's just how I want it to be.
I was
Cool.
watching some podcast, listening to a podcast the other day, and I pointed out, I don't know how true this is, you people might discuss it, but they were saying that the superheroes, when they do the colour scheme for them, they often put them in the primary colours.
Yeah.
And the baddies, they put in tertiary colours.
Yeah, right.
Or secondary.
Yep.
So purples, greens, orange, that sort of thing. And the superheroes are usually red, yellow, or blue.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty accurate?
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of characters that are not that now.
I think traditionally they started out that way.
I'm thinking
They
Captain
started out
America
that way
red and
because
blue.
those three colours are the colours that print most cleanly on shitty paper.
Right.
You know, back
It's
in the day
hard
when
to
comics were
print
just
it
like, they
in the
cost
day.
a nickel and kids would read them and throw them away. So those colours print really cleanly. If
Yeah.
you're going to have Captain America on most panels, then yeah, red, white, and yellow.
Oh, no, it's my internet.
Yeah.
Red, blue, and yellow, I should say.
Well, the Budgie usually is flying over a blue sky, so if you're blue, it wouldn't be as great. So the yellow really pops, like for reference.
Yeah.
Big May.
Yep.
Nice reference.
Excellent reference.
Well, do we have anybody else who's ready to go? Or Shane, have you got anything?
I have a picture, and it's from the hostess with the mostest has drawn this while hosting. My God.
Oh, no, I started.
Snazzy.
That is really good.
That's my guy.
It's Captain Sassy Pants.
Yeah, I like that neck action. I hadn't thought of like he's got like a hawk thing going on. That's really rad.
Yeah, a little slip back.
He's got the staff.
He's a bit sweaty from all the hard work he's doing.
Love the little feather details. They're cool.
I've I got a little bit of reference vibes from Legend of Zelda. There's the Rito clan, so it's like the birds, which I got a little bit of vibe off that. But very cool design to draw, definitely.
Very true.
I want to like keep that up. I like his big hands, like massive wing hands. Oh, here we go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over. I wasn't looking.
Bring it up.
Idiot.
Don't have a budgie, man.
Sorry,
right.
put Lawrence back. That was really rude of me. Sorry, I didn't. Do that.
That's cool. Got the sass right.
Yeah, that's a ripper.
When I did Fly Hard, I sent it to a mate before I printed it, and I was like, "He's a comic guy." I was like, "What do you think, man? Like, you got any input?" And his 2 comments were like, "Do more like motion lines behind a few panels." And he's like, "Where are the feathers? Just like if you punch someone, there should be feathers everywhere. This flying through the frame, there should be feathers littered throughout." And I was like, "Oh, of course."
He needs to ruffle some feathers, you know?
That's
where it come from.
Hey.
Nice. We got another one in.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You, Alex.
No. I'm always loud and noisy, Julian. We need to hear your voice.
Oh, okay.
Get some input in while you can.
I was gonna say, since you come from my film background, do you have any, future film, that you'd like to use as inspiration for your budgies? Next issue.
Because the first one's really Die Hard, got a few Die Hard references, and the second one's got that film noir thing. They were like, "What's the next one?" And I said, sort of, if we had to put it down, and this I've remembered it now, like Point Break would be a good reference point for a good cop story.
Nice.
Yeah.
Each vibe that I was forgetting. So thanks, Julian. We got there. There'll be not a heavy like Point Break thing, but there'll be sort of that kind of vibe. And the town's a good reference for what I want to do with the next book. Yeah.
That's a great
Have
movie.
you done enough of any comic book inspirations you had? Do you have anybody inspire you in comics besides us, but like anybody else that's on the show?
Well put. I always tie Budgy to Dick Tracy, as I said, and like a real Superman vibe, because he's like a city bird, he's a protector, and he's an outcast, and he's on his own. As far as like artists go, there's a guy called Rob Gilroy, and he made the Chew series. Anyone read Chew?
No, I didn't know that one.
No.
Well, this is his
I've read the
second
first trade, yeah.
for reference, called Farmhand, and he's got like a really slick, toony vibe style.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a HBO show soon.
Looks a bit like some of that a second ago looked a bit like some of the characters out of Bone.
Oh yeah. So
Bone. Do you know Nick? Are you familiar with Bone? With Jeff? I think it's Jeff Smith.
Yeah,
no,
Jeff
I
Smith,
was saying Bones actually, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, Jeff Smith.
Somebody's a bit lazy and just cutting and pasting the drawings.
You should tell. That's where people behind the curtain.
Hey, get on the quiz.
Or I'm just nailing you every time, Alex.
How you finding the operation?
There you go. Awkward.
I'm not focusing. Like I find my joke and then I start. That's why I cut Lauren off before, because I was just like, all right, I finished it. Now what do? I press this. Then I was like, oh, there's a show going on, and I just totally interrupted.
Yeah, timing's tricky when you're in that role.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm joking. To me, you
I'm
can like
joking,
really
Rob.
the host or the guest just like mid sentence, and they're like, "Oh, look at that picture," making jokes at me. What was I talking about? There you go, Pete's red shoe. Shoe's the best. There you go. Everyone knows Chew.
How's he criminally underrated if he's getting a HBO TV show? That somebody's rating him with
No,
It's underrated here.
Nick, I was going to put a tail on him. Would that be out of place?
No, he's got a tail. It's
Oh, yeah,
kind of one
okay.
of those like those things we don't really talk about during the book because the trench coat vibe's so cool. But when he's in full flight, the tail
It's
comes
like
out.
a wedge tail, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll change depending how I'm feeling. There's a little tail on that one.
Oh yeah.
So in Fly Hard, Detective Budgy fights ibis birds. Ibis sounding a lot like ISIS.
In chickens.
For me, that's enough to write the whole story, you know.
And the name of the antagonist is Genius.
Yeah.
Absolute
Comics.
genius.
Isn't that's a hamburger?
Do you guys call them bin chickens as well, or is that just Perth?
No,
That's
that's
Sydney
No,
as
bin
well.
chickens up here as well.
We call them bin chickens in Sydney as well.
Yeah, they're actually beautiful birds, but we've ruined them.
Black ibis and white ibis.
Yeah.
My girlfriend
Bin
loves them.
chickens
She's
and bin
excited when she sees them.
Well, do we have any other pictures ready to go, Shane?
No, I don't actually.
I've got one.
I'm surprised how quickly they all came in. Oh, hang on, no, sorry, I do. But I haven't uploaded it. Sorry, so talk about yourself.
Oh, Alistair's got something if you want to bring him up.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Look at that.
Nice.
Oh, mate.
That's right, Alistair.
Fantastic.
I like that sharp.
Look at that
sharp
angle.
thing.
Yeah.
You've got to make a rad silhouette. That's that halo above his head. It's really cool. Good work.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, and the one I hadn't uploaded, sorry about that, Julian. This is work in
No,
progress.
it's all good.
Whoa.
That's cool.
Well done.
Nice.
Julian.
Down, sis?
Yeah, that's looking real good, mate.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
You've got
Whoa.
a hairy chest too. Feathery
Nice.
chest.
It's got a you remember Gargoyles? That cartoon Gargoyles?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got that
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sensing like sort of like a kung fu fighter with a tattoo on his chest or something. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, that is, guys.
I did some backgrounds for that show back in the day.
You did?
What, the gargoyles?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow, cool.
You went to Disney, did you?
I did, yeah. The background department was much nicer than being an animator.
Was that at Kipak Street or?
Yeah, in Kipak Street. Shortly before they left the building and went up to Castlereagh Street, but yeah.
Yeah, that's where I worked. I worked at the Castlereagh
Up
Street. Street.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. We were both ex-Disney people.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
One of the
Reunion on the show.
back then, that was, if you remember, there was such a thing as a rock star artist. You know, you had your Simon Bisleys and whatnot, and I was fairly certain that I was going to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Because I was young and stupid.
I was just pretty much like dashed all my dreams. Everybody there was so good, and I was doing my indie comics, thinking I'm a superstar selling 50 books at a convention, and I show up and I'm like, oh, these people just don't like comics. They're very talented.
Yeah. Well, no, because they wanted me to stay on. They showed me the contract, and I couldn't sign it because it says we own everything that you do. For as long as you work with Disney, and for 2 years after you leave Disney, we own everything you do, whether it's on our behalf or somebody else's behalf, whether it's on the premises or off. We own all of it.
Whoa.
And I thought,
wow,
I'm not signing that.
Yeah, I would need
And
it.
they said, well, legally it's actually indefensible, but in Australia, you know, if an artist says, I'm going to sue you, Disney, there's like,
it's more, I think, because when I was working there, I did a bunch of comics. Nobody cared. They were like, "You're not going to succeed. Who cares?" And I haven't gotten anybody there that's chasing me down on whatever comics I did during that. I did indie comics while I was still working there, just in my spare time. I also did a Killaroo story as well, so maybe they own that.
Well, like I said, I was dumb enough to think that I was the next Dave Sim. So, and it would have been a really solid job because you could earn, I think back then it was $60 a page, and depending on how quickly you could knock them out, the quota was 12 a week. But there was a guy there who called Jerry Lou, who used to line up the boards on his desk and work like a teletyper.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
He's a funny dude, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry. He was
like
crazy.
A smiling.
But yeah, he could knock off, between 15 and 24 boards a week, and you really earn when you're doing that kind of volume.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
But I think now they do it all digitally.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think they announced that they were closing all of their overseas 2D stuff in 2003
Because the
after
Sydney
the Frog Princess died.
one.
In
Yeah,
the
no,
box
I
office.
was there when it shut down. They shut down. We were the last 2D studio because they shut down first. They shut down Vancouver, then Paris, and then it was between us and Tokyo. And I think we just barely delivered Lion King 3 on time, doing a lot of crazy hours. And I think they chose because we spoke English. And then so they closed down the Tokyo studio, and they closed down Florida. And then Burbank was closed, and then the Sydney one was the only like premium 2D animation studio for a while. So that was it. It was like Sydney. So we were like, I thought that was going to be it. So we're going to do like proper Disney 2D features, but then they closed us down too. And I think Cinderella 3 was like the swan song film, and that was about 2000. I left in 2005, and they're still going. They're still wrapping up. In 2006 and 7, and then Princess and the Frog was like they just reopened everything and in Burbank, and then also I think what happened was that all the desks were bought out by Pixar, and then Disney bought Pixar, and then so they just put the desks back, and then so that's how that happened. And I think the last proper 2D film they did was a Winnie the Pooh story, and then now they still have a 2D team, and all they do is just do shots in 2D and then send it to the 3D team to redo it in 3D.
Yeah, right.
So
times have changed.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a bit of a sort of a factory setting.
Yeah, it was because we were just the outsourced studio. Because I forgot the guy that opened it, that started it off in the 60s or early 70s, and then Hanna-Barbera bought it out, and then they just shipped stuff, outsourced it to here, and then they moved stuff to China, and then sold the studio to Disney, and then Disney did all the TV stuff like Aladdin, 101 Dalmatians, and also Gargoyles. What's the other one they did? Gummy Bears.
Yeah,
So,
Timon and Pumbaa, the series.
Yeah, that was done.
Gadget Boy. The one that really did well was Aladdin 2. No, Aladdin 3, I think. Prince of Thieves or King of Thieves.
There you go. Somebody follows my TikTok because the fart's there too.
I see Dave's finishing up. Are you, Dave?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, wow. Hang on. Let me zoom in. If I can find you on the screen. There you are.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful, Dave.
Clean.
Nice. What's that? Oh, arrest warrant. Nice.
That's
I haven't got
fun.
my glasses on, so that was hard to read.
Look at that.
It'd be hard to arrest. It'd be hard to arrest Warrant. Well, the drummer, because he's only got one arm. So, like, how would you put him in?
No, that's Def Leppard. Come on, mate.
Is it? Is it really?
Yes.
But now.
You can't arrest Warren because they're eating cherry pie.
You've done his legs right, whereas most of us and me will ignore the elbow direction of the knee. It's kind of you've got the proper bird bend going on. So good for you.
It works
Very
well.
cool.
It does. It's fun.
So what does that bring us to probably one of the best segments of the night? We get to find out who is the sexiest in the room, and it's
Oh, is that being posted? Did I miss it?
No.
Oh, there it
Hang
is.
on, wait, what?
Without your beard, Shane, you've lost your powers. Grow
I
the
lost
beard
my
back.
powers.
I
That
wonder
was
if
snuck in while I wasn't watching.
Oh yeah, we don't have it behind the scenes. In the meantime, Quick, why don't you tell us about the chief and tell us about the story about you adding one of my favorite pages to the book and your girlfriend poo-pooing that said page.
The Chiefs, I haven't got a picture of the Chief handy. Chiefs, here he is. Chief's in the book. He's an important character in all stories. He's the disgruntled chief with his big heavy moustache. and he lives, through stress. He's always yelling at his inferiors. But there's 2 pages in Detective Budgy Hardboiled that I added like the day before it was due to be sent to Doug for printing. And it's because he just touches on some history and lore that I wanted to be in the book. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do that. I had to be up all night to do it. And I asked my girlfriend what she thought, and she was like, yeah, do that. And then I showed her what I had in mind, and she was like, no, that's not it. It's not what we just talked about. And I was like, oh, well, I have to do this now because it's getting late. And so I did that. And Rob messaged me just yesterday, and he was like, dude, I love that page. I love whatever's going on here. That made me laugh. And I was like, that's crazy. And I showed my girlfriend Jess, and she was sort of like sticking to her guns, but impressed that it got picked up. So that was fun.
That's why I should be your girlfriend.
Where's the quick fix? What?
Oh, what is going on with my computer?
Pour some sugar on me.
No, I'm good.
You're sweet enough.
It's the chief and having a chat in the steam room. So that was a late night session, and it was this panel that I really wanted to be in the story. Just kind of a little bit about how birds came to be to us.
Popping out of the egg, cracking out of the egg there.
That's it. So if you want to know more, you'll have to pick up the book. But we'll get to that later.
Of course.
Nick, can you just quickly, you had the pictures of the chief. Can you explain to me how the moustache works?
So I get pulled up on this a lot. So the chief's got, hold on, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to bring it up in picture form. I'm going to share my screen. Let's do this. So most birds have a nostrils up here, right?
Yep.
That's where their nostrils are. And that's your bird beak. Here we go. Here's your eyes. So I draw the chief's moustache like here, like that. Right?
Oh, nice.
To me, we're talking about anthropomorphic birds, so they're based on humans. So that's a human. It's very much my nose. And that's where a moustache should be. So someone called me up on it. They're like, the moustache should be over here, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's become quite a heated topic. Jake Cooper is the culprit who likes to pick on me for that detail. But I stand by my work. I think that to be honest, mine sits around here, so it's in the medium.
It works well.
Thank you, Nick. I lose sleep over that. So
Yeah, it's a toughie.
It's a tough one.
I think I'd draw a bird with no beards or moustaches.
Gotta have a challenge.
Gotta have a challenge, yeah.
But if it's the chief needs a moustache. We're talking about MIPD, Commissioner Gordon, the guy in Die Hard. They gotta have moustaches. It's like the rule.
Just give him a cigar, mate, or a pipe. That'll be enough.
Not going back. We're not going back, Dave. We're in print now.
Like,
I'm redacting all the copies. Send them back to me.
No, that'll be good, mate.
it's pretty accurate.
Well, before we do the who is the hottest, we've actually had some pictures come in. So, but these are two are from who are actually here. So we got Zach. I'll just put that up twice so everyone sees it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man, I like that detail underneath, man. It's gonna come together. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You should do a chalk outline of like feathers or something.
And there's Julian's done a bit more.
That's pretty good. Julian.
That's great, Julian.
Really good, mate.
Well done, man.
It's like MMA bird.
I love that foot. A scaly, bumpy,
it's awesome.
reptile-y foot. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And we also got a bit of a nod to Quick Nick. It was a very quick drawing of Budgy by Peter Wilson.
Hey.
Nice.
That is a Budgy.
That tells me that Peter's book has arrived because there's a character in it called Frank, and he's known as the Black Galah. And there he is, that's Frank. And he really takes the story onto like a film noir journey. Like he gives it that whole that whole angle. Here he is in his office.
Oh yeah.
So,
he looks good, mate, with that.
Yeah, I love Frank.
Yeah,
Frank's my guy. And drawing Frank was cool. Like I designed him to be a black guy in a white suit, in a black and white suit. So next to Budgy, they look pretty cool next to each other, I think.
Yeah. And what did I see? A toilet back there, did I? How did that get in there?
There's a toilet in the background of that one.
There you go. Peter says that the post office didn't work. He hasn't got it yet.
Damn it. Pete, how did you know? He's on my Instagram. He just knows things. Can we go back? I saw a private message. I saw a message that we need to flag. That was my girlfriend writing in.
This one here?
There it is. I got mine.
The gauntlet's thrown down.
Does she know that Spedsy married?
Well, Spedsy doesn't seem to know.
The thing is, though, Alex, I also have no morals. So I'm up for anything.
There you go.
Okay. Well, let's hope you're not the hottest then, eh? So let's find out, shall we?
Let's go.
Who is the hottest on tonight's episode?
Oh, there he is.
Whoa, Julian!
Look at that.
Oh, it's Dave. It's pointing at Dave. Pointing at Dave.
No, it's your frame. It's your frame. It's you, Julian.
That's you, Julian. You are.
Take it with pride. It's pride.
That's cool, Alex.
I think Zach got it too. Is it a double whammy, that one?
Yeah, true.
That's true, yeah.
No. It's a psych. So at first, no, Zach's just under arrest.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what being
Detective Budgy working double time.
Thanks, Alex. That's a treat seeing your characters move around.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to put some hours into making him fly. Hey, there he is.
There he is. Nice.
Woo. It's the beard, Julian. It's got to be the beard.
Yeah, I think so. You guys give me all your beard, that's how you win. I'm not giving it back, by the way. I hope you
So just
No, that's cool.
paint it black and put it on your face. Is that what happened?
Yes. Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, no judgment here. It's all good.
Is that everybody sent one in? Sizzle. We're all good.
Yeah, just Alistair's shown a preview. Are you happy to show a bit more?
Yeah, sure. There we go.
Oh, we got some color.
Yellow.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
Wow.
I like the white tips on the feathers. Well done.
It's got the light shining.
Yes, I might be able to tighten it up a little bit before I post it, but yeah, happy with that.
That's sick.
I just love how the feathers all just culminate into the center, of attention, being his face. That's great. Great line of action.
Yeah.
very good.
Thanks very much.
I could show. Here we go. It's true. There is a toilet in Detective Budgy Hardboiled, but again, you just get a taste on this show. You gotta invest. You gotta go.
Got to get a taste of the toilet.
I could share some art actually. Can we share our presents covers, Shane? Are we doing that yet?
Oh yeah, I think I have to update that.
No,
I haven't seen them.
There's an NDA, Nick. Really sorry, mate.
Well, it's up to you, Sizzle. I've got mine ready to fly.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Let's
go
do it.
for it. I haven't got them ready. That's all.
I got it ready. So this is my present cover. With Alistair's Viking, the cat, and in the middle we've got old Rosie doing her thing.
Can you go down and up quick?
Oh, double click it. You want to bring it up again?
Oh yeah, there's.
Oh, you drew a couple of the cats.
Oh yeah.
There's a few cats getting around.
Those.
Oh wow, that's
Big
delightful.
kitty.
There we go.
Very cool.
I was trying to keep a simple shape at the core of the image. So
Where's
That's beautiful.
is Chelani in this one?
nah,
Oh, this is Noir.
this is not.
Wow.
You keep looking for Shaloni.
Oh, we lost Alistair.
It's a mystery.
Finish. Hopefully he'll be back because we are now at that section of the night where
This poor person is looking through the newspaper for info on what projects our artists have been working on. And this lost individual is using a map to find where she can follow our artists on social media and buy their books. How about we save them the trouble and just tell them? We call this next segment shameless self-promotion.
Shameless.
Very shameless.
Shameless. So that would be me first. Well, I'm gonna do a bit of a cheat tonight. Sorry, I had no sound when those videos come up. Nothing. I hear nothing.
Oh, we're hearing them.
We're hearing them.
Yeah.
Did you open one of the?
Good,
Did you open these or?
Sorry.
Just open these. Maybe you shut them.
Open them. Oh, I have them closed whenever they come. When I turn that video on, I close them. I thought that's what you do.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to do a bit of a crossover here. And I got Morgan to help me out this morning.
Detective Budgy, the only walking, talking bird person in all of Avian City with wings, often labeled a freak, considered by many an outcast. Some even say he's an angel.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Nice, mate.
Now let's just back. Nice.
So that's my little
Thank you,
ComX
guys.
shop plug, as well as a Detective Budgy.
You know where to get it now, folks.
Yep.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. Hey, you can still catch Lana, Luca, Blood Ties 2 from Kickstarter. We have 4 days left, or just under 4 days. And awesomely, we're on the homepage of Kickstarter and also on the comics and illustration page, where you can find it nice and easily. We've only got about $500 to go, so make sure that you jump in. And if we have a killer couple of days, hopefully we can get up to that 6K stretch goal and get some money towards ComX. That would be awesome. You can find the link on my Instagram, which is @themartialarts. Go to Quick-Spedsy.
Yep, my name's Spedsy. All my stuff is at psychojanitor.com, where I do a book called The Devil's Toilet, about a sentient toilet that escapes hell. I do an anthology called Vamoose, and I've got a Kickstarter Notify Me Now thingy going for Devil's Toilet 3, Vamoose 3, and I'll show you this little cover for this book. Sluggish.
Nice.
Thrilling heroics when you can have depression, anxiety, and slugs. So go to psychojanitor.com, follow the link, and click it. That'd be awesome if you like crying while reading.
I do.
Back to you, Alexander Major.
Anyways, is it my turn now? So, I'm have to remind Shane to click subscribe, ding the bell, so you know when we're on. Because I get reminded that whenever I'm not online, I get a little ding reminding me get online now and leave messages.
Thanks,
Tell people, and also tell your friends to subscribe and your family members too. Comments wise, sorry, your cats as well.
Tell your cats to subscribe as well.
Dogs.
Cats
We need
love
numbers.
the internet.
We need numbers. Still needs money. So everybody chip in with your efforts. And then also comics wise, so pay attention to Sizzle and Rod's upcoming Kickstarters, because I've got bits in there. I also started on my Next Presents comic, so I sketched, read it out and stuff. So the more you support the old Presents comics, the more newer ones will come out from other people as well, not just me. And then what else did I rehearse? Oh yeah, I have I'm back on Webtoons, and I started my another comic on there. So go on Sloppy Toons on that. So in a couple of weeks there'll be another comic there. And then I won't talk about my non-comic stuff and just go to Nicholas here. I'm
Thank
figuring
you.
it.
I can be found on Instagram as @Chernobyl. My work can be found with Rob and many other people in Vamoose, which can be found at the ComX shop and at Psycho Janitor. And just recently, I finished my Vamoose 3 pages. So they're coloured more than that. But so I've put a little bit of pressure on Rob to make sure he's ready to go by the time the Kickstarter goes live. And that's enough from me. Dave?
Yeah. I was just going to say, mate, leave the bloke who's talking or the lady up big so that they can show off their wares. How's that?
I'm not showing my wares.
Show off your wares.
That's the way. Now, I just want to plug this book of mine.
It's a great book. I have this book.
That's an awesome book.
I can vouch for it. I reckon every school should have it in their school library.
I don't think I've ever plugged it on this show, so I thought I would tonight. It's the history of the landing at Anzac. It's full of hand-drawn maps and lots of information. It's been very highly reviewed. We've got some really great reviews from a lot of people who have read it. Really
awesome. That's why.
It said that it's really explains the story of Anzac, the landing at Anzac, very clearly, and makes it very easy for people to understand the events that happened, and opened up their eyes to a lot of things. You can see the maps and that sort of make it easier to understand the story.
Very cool.
So that's 220 odd pages. At the back there are some discussion points that were raised during the research, and contradict a little bit of some of the other historic or histories that have been written. So anyway, that's available at Owner Indie. I don't think we got it in the comic shop, have we, Cyril?
No, we don't. I think that's one of the few of yours I don't have now.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure if you can take it or not, because it's a book and it won't fit in a slip case or anything like that. So it's probably best to
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, okay. Keep an eye on Owner Indie. On ComX shop. That may be available soon. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting new packaging for stuff outside the norm.
Yeah, it's definitely outside the norm. So anyway, it's a good quality hardcover book, and it sells quite cheaply.
It really does for how awesome. Yeah, definitely.
I'd also like to endorse that book, product and service that Dave just promoted. It's very good.
Thanks, mate. Thank you, everyone who's said nice things. All right, that's all from me. Over to you, Julian.
Over to me. Oh, I wasn't even where I had to endorse myself. I was just all in for Nick's, Detective Budgy. You guys have to go and support him.
Julian, give yourself a plug. Instagram, your webtoons, your YouTube channel, and then whatever Hollywood deal you've got going on HBO or Netflix.
Okay. I've got a website, julianvelasco.art, ART. It's a portfolio. I do 3D art, 2D art. If you want to see my comics, the one that I'm really proud of is from Presents Noir, issue 2. It's called Future Puppo. And if you don't like my stuff, you'll be glad to know that there are other amazing artists in that issue, such as Duncan Fernevius, Stephen McLeod, and Ryan Bella. They're all amazing stuff. So you're definitely getting a bang for your buck, 100%. Yes, but I also do digital comics on the side, Tales of Ryza, and a short story comic, Island Out in Space, which is only about maybe a couple episodes, but it has a big twist. and I reckon you guys will enjoy it if you do. That's enough of me. Off to the better man, which is Zach.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
I'm currently finishing up Bronwyn for the Kickstarter that just finished. So hopefully she'll get print by the end of next week and sent out shortly after. I've also got a few covers coming out with people. I've got a cover for Vamoose and Devil's Toilet 3. And I'm starting a crossover with Guy's Magic Library for Presents Issue 4 with Vivian Jones.
Right, excellent. Yeah, that's Peter Lane.
Yeah, Sky's
Peter Lane, yeah.
Sky's
Cabin Library.
Library.
Cabin Library. Did I? Oh, I got it wrong.
I didn't want to correct you in the middle of it. Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
Peter.
Oh,
It's on you, Nick.
well, it's been
Send
a
us off, mate.
Detective
Send us
Budgy
off.
themed night, and we've had a lot of fun today, boys and girls. But if you'd like to get your hands on Detective Budgy Fly Hard or Detective Budgy Hard Boiled, you know where to go. You can go to detectivebudgy.com. But what I encourage is you go to comx.shop and you pick up my books and you pick up some other work there, some arts, some stories by some of the wonderful people who've joined us tonight to draw my little birdie. I'll keep it brief. That's what you got to do.
I've got a quick question
you
for
very
Shane
much.
about ComX.
yes.
So hypothetically, I look at all the covers and I'm new to comics and I see a bunch of comics I like. Is the shipping, does it get any cheaper if I order more books at once? Or is it something I've asked off air?
Funny you should ask that, Alex. It actually has a flat rate shipping. So if you buy one comic or you buy 50 comics, it is currently $9. That will be changing as we get the new shipping materials in, because that'll put the price up slightly. But the books will be way more protected, and I'll be able to ship things like hardcovers and so forth.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Also, so please order more than one book. Just
Yes.
Oh yeah,
finance.
get lots
Save
of books.
money.
Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it, people.
Okay, cool. Well, that's everybody. Hey, Sizzle.
Yep. Oh, we actually got Alistair sent his in while we were while he was out wherever he's gone.
Oh, right. I didn't notice he's gone.
Because I think his internet's having the same problem mine is. Mine keeps
Yeah.
cutting out. You guys keep freezing for me.
Oh,
I
right.
realize it's me when it's all of you freezing.
I shaved some of my eyebrow off last night, guys. Just there, you can see the patch.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Well, it won't let me upload the picture, so I can't show it to you.
Why did you do that?
Well, make sure
Yeah,
you
right.
guys follow Alistair on Instagram.
Yeah, Alistair is probably going to
Yeah,
share this
plug
on,
Alistair
on
in.
on his Instagram and so forth. So, it's a finished version of the of Detective Budgy. It's really cool. It's a shame that I can't upload it, but yeah.
Here we go. I've got a constellation prize. There you go. Alistair
Oh
Lockhart.
yes,
.art.
yes.
That's where you find it.
On the
That's
right.
where you find Alistair's art. He's very
Look
talented.
how
man.
good his background in his cityscape is. It's really
Yes.
good.
Loves his
And he had like a really good. He had a really good one for the other one as well that we can't see right now. It's really cool perspective.
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
make sure you post on his Instagram. You'll be able to see, or his
Yeah,
website.
so Nick, what's Alistair's Instagram again?
Oh, you want me to bring that up? I can bring that up.
At
It was
Alistair Lockhart.
Alistair Lockhart. Yeah,
at Alistair
Dot
Lockhart.
art.
Art.
There you go.
art.
So there you go. That's we can see more of Alistair's work.
Nothing easy.
Yeah,
Well,
great-hearted.
I guess that brings us to the end of the night. Thank you very much. That was awesome fun. That overloaded me a little with my computer freezing up and the amount of comments we were getting.
So
Do
Nick
you guys
can
want to
bring
see
in
my
all the-
Robert De Niro impression?
Oh, nice. That's very
Wow,
nice.
uncanny.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, you killed it. Killed it.
Hey, thanks everyone. Thanks for drawing my budgie. Thanks for sending in art. It's really cool seeing stuff like that happen. All your varying
Thank
styles.
you
It's
for trusting us with
Very
your
cool.
budget.
Pleasure, mate.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Cool, Nick.
It's been awesome
Thanks
to
for
have you
being
part of
our
the show.
special guest,
it's
and
been
thank you
awesome
to-
read your books.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Thank you.
you're fine.
I was just going to say thank you to Lady Radis for being our special guest host. for the
Thanks,
night.
Lauren.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thanks for being a great guest, Quick Nick. We'll see you again next week.
Yep.
Back in
And
sleep.
I apologize. These videos aren't working for me, so I'm just going to have to randomly stop it somewhere.
When the guy starts dancing, that's when
No,
you
I
turn
can't
it
see the video. I can't see the videos.
I can't see it either.
I can't
Say
see
on-
it either.
say on
I watch your faces. I watch
I'll
your
wave
faces
at you
to
in
see
the
that
bottom
it's-
thing. You'll see me
Yeah,
waving.
okay, cool.
I can end it.
See you.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Well, we drank, we drew, we talked nonsense. Now it's time to say goodbye. Don't cry, dry your eye, for there are many cool comics you can buy. ComX.shop is full of comics from a bunch of the creators you just watched. Amazing Tales by Dave Dye. The Devil's Toilet by Spedsy. ComX Presents featuring Ed Kearsley, Tony Manzi, Duncan Pranavicius, Peter Wilson, Lee Chalker, Zach George, and so much more. The list is longer than this outro. See you next Friday for more drinking and drawing. Alright Sizzle, press the button. Sizzle? Sizzle, press the damn button. Sizzle you turkey, press the goddamn